Motorcycles are usually priced with respect to their frameworks, designs, outlook, and technical performance. Another factor that affects the pricing is the concept of manufacturing only a certain number of a certain model. This in turn makes them limited edition models. The various companies on this list, apart from Ducati and Harley-Davidson, have focused on only making the absolute expensive motorcycles that value at no less than a niche piece of art. In the recent past, bikes have become fairly more expensive. This is mainly due to an increase in the usage of premium and costly materials, such as carbon fiber and the will to make faster and more powerful bikes. A motorcycle like the Harley-Davidson Cosmic Starship would have been the #1 bike on the list. However, recently, a number of manufacturers have begun building limited-run motorbikes that are either built like a piece of art or are built to perform exceptionally on the track. However, today, it's not even in the top 3. What hasn't changed is the fact that even today, these beautiful machines made of metal in no way fail to capture the attention and hearts of many people around the globe with a passion for an adrenaline-filled adventure. Here are 10 of the most expensive bikes in the world 2022. 10. Ducati Testastrada NCR Macchia Nera Concept, $225,000. Although the Ducati Testastrada NCR Macchia Nera Concept may not be made to compete with something like a Kawasaki H2 in terms of sheer speed, however, it is the most expensive bike in the world. Ducati Testastrada NCR Macchia Nera comes equipped with a 998cc V2 twin-cylinder engine with a total output of 185 brake horsepower and a 6-speed transmission. The motorcycle is built out of carbon fiber and titanium that impressively allows the bike to weigh in at just 134 kilograms. This piece of art has only been manufactured in limited numbers, therefore justifying the price to the fans. 9. Ducati Desmosedici D16RR NCR M16, $232,500. The Ducati Desmosedici D16RR NCR M16 is a lighter and more powerful version of the Desmosedici D16RR and costs $232,500, whereas the regular D16RR costs $72,500. The huge price increase is due to the use of carbon fiber everywhere, including the load-veering parts of the bike such as the frame, wheels, and the swing arm. Apart from these parts, the fenders, tail, fairing, and fuel tank are made of carbon fiber as well. When it comes to the mechanical parts, they are all titanium or avionic-grade aluminum, all the way down to each bolt. This motorcycle is powered by a 989cc Ducati V4 with a total output of 175. However, NCR M16 pushed the power figure to 200 plus brake horsepower to the rear wheel. The suspension setup is that of the latest MotoGP race bikes, and the M16 comes equipped with race electronics such as data recording, traction control, and user-selectable engine maps. The NCR16 weighs in at only 145 kilograms, which is lighter than the minimum weight regulation of a 4-cylinder MotoGP bike. 8. Ecosse Titanium Titanium Series, $300,000. When the FETIXX was first announced in the year 2007, the $300,000 price tag seemed like an absolutely insane amount for a bike. However, things have changed over time. As this is no longer the most expensive bike, its insane price tag has also seemed to become an understandable price to pay. The FETIXX is powered by a 2.4-liter Biller aluminum engine, with a total output of 228 brake horsepower to the wheel. Carbon fiber is present all over the motorbike in order to keep the weight as low as possible. The seat of the motorcycle is a handcrafted posh Italian leather. The exhausts are made of grade 9 titanium pipes that have a ceramic media shot-peened finish on them. Only 13 units of the beautiful machine were ever produced. 7. Dodge Tomahawk V10, $550,000. Only 9 of the Dodge Tomahawks were ever produced. Dodge says these are not just motorcycles, but rolling sculptures, and indeed it is priced as one, $550,000. The absolute fastest bike ever in a straight line, the Dodge Tomahawk reaches from 0 to 60 miles per hour in just 2.5 seconds, and has a claimed top speed of roughly 420 miles per hour. Dodge was never really known to build motorbikes, but is mainly known for its muscle cars, such as the Challenger and the Viper. However, they are the ones who built the fastest bike in the world. Debuted back in 2003, This was first nothing more than a concept, and we all thought there is no way we were to see this in production. We were wrong. This behemoth of a machine comes with 4 tires, 2 on each side for all the 4 wheels that are separated by a few inches while being on an independent suspension per wheel, a 2-speed transmission, and a Viper motor. The motor is an 8.3-liter 20-valve V10 SRT10. That's right, this motorcycle has a V10 with an output of 507 brake horsepower at 5,600 RPM. The brakes consist of a 20-inch perimeter mounted drilled rotors, 1 on each wheel. The front brake consists of 4 piston calipers per wheel made of aluminum, and the rear uses a single 4-piston aluminum caliper. The clutch is a double-disc, dry plate with a number of organic friction materials used, and is actuated by a hand lever. Although it may seem as if this bike can't ride like one, it comes equipped with a swing arm at each end and a hub-centered steering column, meaning it does indeed lean and countersteer like a motorbike, even with the 680 kilograms in terms of weight. The steering is a dual hub center type, and the linkage uses a rocker and push-pull rod that consist of bearings. The steering yoke is made out of billet aluminum, where the grips are aluminum and the levers are billet. 6. Harley-Davidson Cosmic Starship, $1.5 million. This is the bike that used to place at the top of many lists of the most expensive bikes. However, today it's only on number 6. Harley-Davidson Cosmic Starship was made with the idea of creating a piece of art. Partnering with the famous rebel cosmic existentialist artist Jack Armstrong, Harley-Davidson applied a yellow and red paint over a Harley V-Rod and initially sold it at a flat $1 million after broadcasting and showcasing it to the world. Keeping in mind that a Harley-Davidson V-Rod costs at $16,000, the paint job on the Cosmic Starship costs at $984,000. However, keeping it in mind, the fact that most of Jack Armstrong's works go for an upwards of $3 million, this seems like a pretty good deal. 5. BMS Nemesis, $3 million. The first things that one may observe about the BMS Nemesis is the fact that there is no side stand, and the motorbike just sits on its belly instead. This is due to the incorporation of an air ride system that enables the bike to automatically lift itself up with the single-sided swing arm and the rear suspension by 10 whole inches, or lower it to the ground, absolute luxury. This in turn makes the side stand obsolete. The Nemesis lands ever so softly onto its side rails when it is time to park. What is the yellow glitter all over the motorcycle, you ask? That's 24-karat gold. 4. Heidebrand and Wolfmueller, $3.5 million. The Heidebrand and Wolfmueller motorcycle was created when 2 steam engine engineers named Heinrich and Wilhelm Hildebrand teamed up with Alois Wolfmueller in order to produce their own internal combustion engine in Munich. The bike was first produced and manufactured in the year 1894. This was the moment when the horses made of flesh and bone started to go out of fashion and were reinvented. If one manages to ever ride one, it is imperative to know that there is no clutch nor a pedal on this. One will have to push it while running and hop on while giving the throttle in order to start it. 3. Ecosse ES1 Spirit, $3.6 million. In order for the professional rider to test ride the Ecosse ES1 Spirit, he himself was required to take a 2-week training course. This machine is nothing like a traditional motorbike. There is a complete absence of a chassis framework altogether. The rear suspension and the swing arm are both attached to the gearbox itself, and the front suspension is attached to the engine. The motorcycle weighs in at just 120.2 kilograms and is achieved by eliminating extra weight when it comes to the slender fork of the front suspension, as the fork is forced through a steering head and then back down. The suspension setup in the front consists of twin A-arms that project forward, and there are pieces that define the steering axis that carry upright and projects the front wheel spindle. In order to create a smoother handling experience, the handlebars are on the upward projected steering axis. Although completely electronic, the steering feel is completely natural. The powerhouse of this motorcycle is an integrated bespoke transverse inline-4 engine. The sitting positions allow the knees to be closely tucked in for greater ergonomics and maneuverability. Both the front and the rear suspension are all carbon fiber, and the handlebars are mounted to the fork directly for greater control. 2. 1949 E90 AJS Porcupine, $7 million. AJS was only able to produce 4 Porcupine units in the year 1949 and managed to bring home a World Championship Cup after placing first in the hands of Les Graham. The Porcupine is a motorbike that comes with an open frame, aluminum alloy engine with a capacity of 500 cc. The twin-cylinder DOHC engine came with horizontal cylinder heads in order to provide a low center of gravity. The shocks used in this bike are of a special kind and are known as jam pot shocks. The Porcupine spent 20 years in the Coventry National Motorcycle Museum, after which it was made available to select enthusiasts. 1. Neiman Marcus Limited Edition Fighter, $11 million. The Neiman Marcus Limited Edition Fighter looks very steampunk-esque in terms of its design, in turn pricing it at $110,000. However, currently this motorcycle is priced at a whopping $11 million, making it the most expensive bike on the planet. One of the most eye-catching parts of this motorcycle is the chassis and frame itself. It's built and carved out of a single piece of metal in order to provide more structural rigidity. A number of designers believe this bike to be styling at its absolute best, wherein the motorcycle's utility has taken no toll. When this motorbike was shown to a number of reviewers, they were astonished and awestruck at this motorcycle's appearance. Neiman at the time spoke of how this motorcycle is an evolution of the regular machine, wherein it has been taken back to its core elements in order to be reinvented and engineered with optimal performance in mind. The Neiman Marcus Limited Edition Fighter is meant to be Neiman's take on a street-legal, sci-fi dream. How limited is this fighter, however? Only 45 of these gorgeous metal steeds were ever built and released into the market. Although the Neiman Marcus Fighter costs in at $11 million and looks like something out of a comic book, it is 100% street legal. The bike is powered by a 1966cc air-cooled V-twin engine that allows it to reach a top speed of 300 km per hour and a 0 to 100 time of just 3 seconds. Although they made a beautiful machine, Neiman Marcus went bankrupt in September 2020.